Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your support. Today I read an interesting article on Yahoo Finance, put out by USA Today and written by Betty Lynn Fisher, titled, "Americans are drowning in auto loan delinquencies. Report says Congress needs to fix it." I'll include a link to this article below. I encourage you to check it out. According to the author, the growing costs to buy and maintain a car, exacerbated by inflation and tariffs, are leading to rising auto loan defaults and repossessions, and a potential crisis for American consumers left unprotected by the federal government, according to a new report by a consumer advocacy organization. My friends, I hate to hear about this, but I get it. Cars these days are becoming increasingly expensive to maintain. These modern vehicles have a lot of technology. Even if something simple breaks, it is going to cost a lot of money to fix. A lot of these cars have screens. Just wait until one of those screens goes bad. If your screen controls your HVAC system, it's not like you can go without that. If you live in a hot climate, you're going to want air conditioning. If you live in a cold climate, you're going to want heat. I don't think automakers should have transitioned to these screens until they knew how long they were going to last, especially in extreme temperatures. A lot of people are unprepared for how expensive these modern vehicles are to repair. I'm sure some folks get sticker shock when they bring their vehicle in to get repaired and they find out the bad news of how much it's going to cost. Some people have no choice but to put the bill on the credit card. The problem is, they won't be able to pay off the credit card balance at the end of the billing cycle, which means they're going to dig themselves into a deep, dark hole of credit card debt. It's really hard to climb out of a hole like that. Getting back to the article, the author said, "The record number of defaults is a canary in the coal mine for large-scale economic problems. The Consumer Federation of America warned." Well, my friends, let's hope this is not a canary in the coal mine for large-scale economic problems. Getting back to the article, the author references a report by the CFA. I'm going to share a quote with you. "Delinquencies, defaults, and repossessions have shot up in recent years and look alarmingly similar to trends that were apparent before the Great Recession." I find this to be troubling. Whenever someone draws parallels between what is happening today and the Great Recession, you know it is serious. Those were some dark times financially in this world. Getting back to the article, the author references CFA again. Cars are more expensive than ever. The average vehicle sells for nearly $50,000, and almost 20% of new car buyers are paying $1,000 or more a month. Nearly 1 in 5 new car buyers in the first quarter of 2025 have a loan that is 7 years long. Used car prices also rose 6.3% year over year in June 2025. This is terrible news. Can you imagine taking out a vehicle loan for $50,000, but the factory warranty isn't going to run 7 years, which means it's possible at some point during your loan, you're going to need an expensive repair on that modern high-tech car. But you're paying $1,000 a month or more, and now you have to figure out how to cover the cost of some expensive repair on this high-tech car. Even if something simple breaks, it's not going to be cheap. I have no interest in paying $50,000 for a modern vehicle. You're going to pay a lot of tax on that. Your registration is going to cost a lot of money. Oil changes are going to cost more because a lot of these vehicles require full synthetic. A lot of these vehicles also have large rims with low-profile tires. Those tires are going to wear out before your 7-year loan is over, and those tires are going to be very expensive to replace. Chances are you'll likely damage or crack one of those large aluminum rims by hitting a curb or hitting a pothole, Those aren't cheap to replace either. A lot of Americans are setting themselves up for some financial pain, especially if they're buying a vehicle for $50,000 and they're taking out a 7-year loan. I've heard of people taking out loans that are longer than 7 years. Not a good idea from my perspective. I'm perfectly happy driving a 2004 Toyota Camry with 442,000 miles on the odometer. I have no payments. My insurance is dirt cheap. My registration is very inexpensive. And the car is really, really easy to maintain. And I can find parts anywhere. Getting back to the article, the author references CFA again. Apparently, they sent a report to Congress on September 10th calling for an end to exploitative practices, including interest rate kickbacks, where dealers and lenders conspire to secretly inflate interest rates and share the profits gleaned from the consumer's overpayment. Let me explain what they're talking about here. When you visit a new car franchise dealership and go into the finance office, the person there is going to talk with you about loan options. They're going to run your credit and they're going to quote you an interest rate. Let's say they quote you 10%. It's likely the dealership is getting an interest rate of 7% and they're making a 3% spread. So not only are they making money from the vehicle that they're selling you, but they're making money off of the loan. In the finance office, they also make a lot of money from products like extended warranties. Let's say they sell you an extended warranty for $3,000. It's certainly possible their cost is only $1,500. The list goes on with regard to how they make money in the finance office. They sell people paint protection plans. They sell people wheel protection plans. I've seen dealerships selling key protection plans. The list goes on. Dealerships make money a lot of ways. But it's interesting that CFA is calling for an end to exploitative practices, such as inflating interest rates. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think these car dealerships are going to continue to make money doing this. That's just what I think. And what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube. Getting back to the article, the author said, auto loan defaults are indicative of overall consumer stress, and that usually means consumers have stretched everything else that they can in their household. This is according to the CFA Director of Consumer Protection, Aaron Whitty. My friends, I agree with this individual. Many everyday Americans are stretched thin financially. They are struggling. Many are suffering financially right now. Many don't know how they are going to continue making vehicle payments. They don't know how they are going to make their next vehicle insurance payment. They don't know how they're going to make their rent payment. Some people don't know how they're going to put food on the table. I've heard stories about food banks running out of food in record time. Some of the folks in the food lines are driving really nice vehicles. Unfortunately, a lot of those have huge payments. Some Americans are buried in debt. A lot of people may look like they are doing well financially, but it is a facade. A lot of people who are driving these expensive vehicles and living in nice apartments and wearing nice clothes are up to their eyeballs in debt. They are able to sustain a certain standard of living because of debt. Unfortunately, some people have reached the tipping point when it comes to debt, and they are barely hanging on. I'm sure some of you know people like this. If you do, tell me about them in the comment section below. Now get this, the author references Cox Automotive Market Insights and Outlook. Apparently, repossessions are at the highest level since 2009 and jumped an estimated 43% from 2022 to 2024. My friends, this is another instance where someone is drawing parallels between what is happening now and what happened back in the GFC. Those were some dark times financially. This is not good news at all. I don't know where this is all going to end. I don't think it is going to be pretty. A lot of Americans depend on a vehicle to get to work. Not everyone lives in an urban area where there is good public transportation. And if you live in an area where you need a vehicle to get to work and yours gets repossessed, well, it's not always a good idea to rely on coworkers to give you a ride. What if the coworker oversleeps and doesn't pick you up on time? Now your job is at jeopardy because you arrived at work late. This is not good for many everyday Americans. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.